Welcome to the 6th video tutorial in the iPad Assessor series. In this video we're going to be doing a service audit, which is an audit of the supporting services that may be able to provide assistance to the beach we're assessing. This diagram shows the application process flow. By now you should have successfully installed the application, which is stage 1. Stage 2, the pre-assessment stage, was covered in video tutorial 1. The third stage, the assessment stage, we covered hazard identification and risk assessment in video tutorial 2. We covered access auditing in video tutorial 3. In video tutorial 4 we covered facility auditing, and in 5 we looked at rescue equipment auditing and assessing. So in this one, video tutorial 6, we're going to be taking a closer look at auditing supporting services. So we start the application by clicking on the assessor icon on the desktop of the iPad, and that brings up the splash screen. I'm going to go straight through to the audits menu, and we do that by using the navigation button at the top left hand corner of the screen. This is the council screen, so it says councils. We click on that and we select the council that we've entered previously, which is test council in my case. So I'll select that. Then I'll select initial assessment from the assessments menu, Bondi from the beaches menu, and then we're in the audits menu screen. Today in this video tutorial we're going to do a services audit, so that's an audit of all the supporting services that may be able to supply supporting services to the beach that we're assessing. To get to the services audit screen, we select services, which is the second item from the bottom, and we click on that one, and now we're in the services menu. We haven't done any audits before, so at the moment it's blank, but to add one we just click edit, and then next to add services we click the plus button, and then we have to add a service type to the menu. So to do that we click edit and then the plus button next to add new item, and then we're going to type in a service type. So the service types that we're auditing might include the police, the fire brigade, ambulance service, any support services from surf life saving, so helicopter, offshore boats, jet boats, rescue watercraft, etc. So why don't we put in the ambulance, and we'll click done, and that adds that to the menu. We'll click done to get rid of the minus button, and then we'll select ambulance. We click done to get rid of the minus buttons on this menu, and then we select the item that we've just added. To get rid of the services menu we just tap outside the menu window, and now we're left with the service audit screen. So on this screen it's not a whole lot to enter in, but the first thing we've got to enter in is a description. So we'll put a description in, and we might just say something like location of Bondi ambulance base, full stop. Hit done to save that, and then we've got to mark the location of the base. So we can either mark it if we actually drive there physically, or go there physically. We can mark the location, but more often than not for this one we will have had to look up the address, and we'll be able to drop the pin on the location using the map and the drop pin feature of the application. So we touch the pin once and bring up the drag me window, and then we touch and hold it again to lift it off the map, and we can drag it to around Bondi, and then we want to zoom in and drag it again. Now I don't actually know where it is, but we'll just place it somewhere, say there, and once we're happy we'll select done. Now that puts the coordinates in the longitude and latitude coordinates in the darkened text, and so we know that that's locked in place. The next thing we need to do is enter in a response time, and we do that by clicking the blue arrow key in the response time field, and that'll bring up a response time scroll wheel, and we just choose how many minutes it would take for an ambulance to respond from that location. Now you can either estimate that, or you can speak to the ambulance service and ask them how long it takes them to respond, or speak to the lifeguards and ask them. And we click done, and then we also want to set the hours of operation of that service. So we'll say it's 24 hours, and to show that something's 24 hours I usually just set this to 0-100 hours and a closing time of 0-100 hours also. And we set the close time to 0-100 hours, and then we add a photo. Hit done to save, and that's how we add a service. Now, like all the other screens, we can add a new one by going edit, add new. So if we wanted to do the fire brigade, or say the rescue helicopter service, we can also copy an existing one if we just need to change the name. So let's copy the ambulance service by hitting ambulance service, and that gives us a copied entry of the one we just entered. I know it's copied because it's got an asterisk as the first character. I hit done to get rid of the minus buttons, and I select the copied one. Now I need to change the name, and I do that, or the service type, I do that by hitting the blue arrow key next in the service type field, hit edit, add new, and we might do the police. Hit done to get rid of the minus buttons, and then select the new service type. Now we need to adjust the description and get rid of ambulance. Let's say station instead of base, and then done. We might need to adjust the response time and any other fields that are different, and then add a new photo. And that's it done, and that's how we audit services. So we'll just go navigate back to the start screen of the application, and that's the end of this video tutorial.